make another video, but it's like, if you're a person with a conscience, you're sitting in my situation, and it's like, you're like, oh, please, God, never, you know what I mean? You don't never want to be under a harmful government intrusion where they know your medical, they know your allergies, they have control over the doctor, they have control over the insurance company, apparently. So then I have a question. Is the government intrusion the insurance company, which means socialism? But even if it's a private insurance group, but the government has control over the insurance group, which they obviously do with all these situations, it's like, well, the government has the control. But then the government is committing an act of socialism. It's not a social program anymore. Then really the insurance company has a case against the government intrusion as well. To be honest, if I was in charge of a private insurance company and the government intruded and used my private insurance company in this manner, I would sue the government myself. I would say, wait a minute, man. If I was sitting with Dominic, I would want a letter saying that a letter's generating, saying that he's requesting something that he didn't request. That's false. I would want the same thing. I would send him that letter. I mean, I want to hear what they have to say about that. And then I want to know if you're Republican or what's your religion. Things like that, man, because, I mean, you know, they would, as a private company, you would have to know it's binding. You're having someone identifying themselves as a supervisor for your private company, sitting with a representative from the doctor's office and agreeing that Dr. Max Dollar is that patient's doctor. That would be binding. And then when the Dr. Max Dollar's office is saying that your information is false, that's fraud, man. And then the representative from the Health Choice, your private company, or I still don't know if it's private or government intrusion, is basically saying that the doctor doesn't want to see you or have to see you, which is discrimination. So it's like, dude, but then that representative is taking all liability. I would be furious if I owned an insurance company and I'm like, oh my god, but that's socialism. But Dominic, I want to know, what is the government intrusion? What is the government intrusion? At some point, this has to become illegal. So then I want to know, what are the laws that this is a crime? What would those? I mean, it ends up. If this is classified legally as socialism, it is just a treasonous crime. And then you would have to say, okay, socialism, intent of malice. I mean, it would be hard for me to believe a private owner of a business would allow this willingly. It would be hard for me to believe, because they would know, oh my gosh, man. I mean, they would have to say, wait a minute, everything that Dominic's asking for is anything anybody would ask for. It's everybody else's right. So then I have a question. This is a question for the lawyer. It states in the handbook I can see my primary care physician and I can choose my primary care physician. Has everybody gone through the runaround that I've gone through? I can't believe that. That's also another count of discrimination. It's also another count of fraud. But again, in my heart, obviously, I want to believe that people have a conscience and that the government intrusion is prevailing. Meaning taking ownership of your private company, which is socialism. So if, honestly, and I'm talking this out, guys, if Health Choice is a private company and the government intrusion using a private company, meaning taking ownership of a private company to commit malice, fraud, discrimination, creating false information, false documentation, and making false statements, this constitutes socialism. And that is treason. So, you know what, man? I'm talking this out. I'm going, and if it's a private company and the government intruded and took ownership, basically the government takes ownership, that is socialism. If the government blames the private, honestly, the insurance company would have lawsuit against the government as well by saying, you took ownership of my private company to do these things, and that is malice, and that is creating false documents, that is fraud, that is discrimination, and that is socialism. You would also have a legal case of socialism against the government. Is it city, state, or federal? I'm asking because I don't know. Help me, man. What happened?